Hello, this is Mac with a Mac commentary. Today I will comment on the Obama administration and the economic empowerment of Black America. I hope I can provide some insight into the following questions. Is the Obama administration aiding and abetting in the marginalization of the Black community by its inaction? Has the Obama administration done anything directly for the economic empowerment of the Black community? Now, many Blacks and people of all ethnicity, but I'm focused mainly on the Black community, worked hard to help President Obama become the first Black multiracial president. During his first term, many associates and friends would say, Obama is not doing anything for the Black community. I would always respond, he will help the Black community directly after he is elected to his second term. Now, President Obama married a Black woman from the south side of Chicago, and he worked in the Black community as an activist. So I'm sure he saw and felt the economic devastation of the community. Now, being an astute politician, I'm also sure he observed how an investment bank owned by people from the community would help the community finance entrepreneurs and help propel the Black community to achieve financial parity. Now, he would also have observed that many of these potential entrepreneurs would need financial experts who would be associated with that investment bank to help guide these savvy community entrepreneurs. Now, this would enable Blacks to compete on the same footings as other ethnic groups in the United States and the world. However, the Obama administration has failed to do anything to directly help the Black masses lift themselves up by their bootstraps, as Black leader Booker T. Washington of yesterday stated. Now, I'm not saying the Obama administration has not done anything to directly help the Black masses, but I am saying his administration has not done anything directly that would help the Black community empower itself financially. Now, I urge you to go to www.whitehouse.gov/African Americas. Now, this link is in the description of this video. Go there and read the specifics that the administration has done for the past 7 years. Many of these items are the same for the nation and other ethnic groups, that is, Hispanics, but none directly helps to empower the Black community. These accomplishments are laudable, but it's the same as previous administrations, which gave Blacks, I quote, a fish and you feed him for a day, instead of, I quote, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime, unquote, as stated by the philosopher Maimonides. This is what the Black community needs to overcome the legacy of slavery and past and present discrimination, which in essence has held and is holding many Blacks back, except a talented few and the chosen lucky ones who have made it, but would not invest a penny to help others get a foothold. Most of these types are the chosen few by the powers that be, and you know who the power that be is. Now, there are many potential entrepreneurs in the Black community who are anxious and capable to operate a startup business, but need the capital with training and oversight to make their dreams come true. Now, with many black-owned businesses operating within the black community, the money will begin to circulate more times within the community, provided now the business owners buy from each other and stay in the community. Now, this will work well with small businesses, where we today see other ethnic groups providing services that blacks used to provide in their own community. That is, mom and pop groceries, wholesalers, restaurants, shoe shops, auto mechanics, dry cleaners, laundromats, dentists, doctors, other professionals, etc. Now, the current business owners of other ethnicity and some blacks who own businesses, they take the money out of the community and do not put anything back. Now, black businesses and consumers would have to be educated to respect each other as service product providers and customers through community educational programs. And the prices of these entrepreneurs would have to be competitive with the suburban communities to keep the buyers shopping within the communities, as the Jews, the Chinese, the Cubans, and other ethnic groups are currently doing. Now, instead of the Obama administration starting an initiative to help blacks create an investment bank to finance the above-referenced business opportunities, it has, through First Lady Michelle Obama, given $70 million to Pakistan to educate its young girls, while the black community is devastated with under or uneducated boys and girls. Also, men and women who need high-tech job training to compete in the marketplace. It should be noted, while impressive, the first African-American billionaire, Oprah Winfrey, built a school in Africa while her hometown is devastated with unskilled, unemployed blacks. Now, the Obama administration has called for the importation of more Syrian refugees. Michigan Governor Snyder has called out to the administration for the Syrians educated, displaced refugees to fill 100,000 high-tech jobs in Michigan. He further stated, "We will house them in the thousands of vacant homes in Detroit, Michigan." Now, as of April the 12th, 2015, the Bureau of Labor Statistics show a 25% unemployment rate in Detroit. Therefore, there is an abundance of men and women from the city's population of over 600,000 who could be trained for many of these jobs. So who is kidding whom here? Nobody's concerned about black people, not even black people. Where are the black elected officials? Shouldn't they be protesting this dastardly maneuver? In 2014, Snyder asked the U.S. government to designate tens of thousands of immigrant work visas to Detroit to attract highly skilled entrepreneurial immigrants to the city. A newspaper article stated, and I quote, "Governor Rick Snyder of Michigan, a Republican, has already laid the groundwork. In January 2014, he asked the government to designate 50,000 immigrants work visas for highly skilled entrepreneurial immigrants to revitalize Detroit, and he signed an executive order creating the Michigan Office for New Americans, unquote. As of October 2015, the Obama administration and Michigan, they are on track with accepting the refugees. Now, the White House announced the U.S. plan to accept 10,000 refugees in fiscal year 2016. Now, the refugees will be housed in Detroit, where they will fill the high-tech skilled jobs, and start businesses. The Heritage Foundation estimates it will cost the U.S. taxpayer $130 million for the first year. Now, couldn't money like this some money like this be assigned to an investment bank for blacks? But let us listen to Michigan Governor Snyder, and we will have further comments afterwards.
Well, this is a tough road. We're talking about the Syrian refugees, and this is just a huge problem in Europe, and people have been stepping up, countries have been stepping up to say, we will take refugees. Well, Michigan stepped up, and the governor said, we'll take refugees. What do you have in mind here?
Yeah, we're still working out the numbers and the way to do the process, but I've been pretty clear, and I don't describe it as just Syrian refugees. It should be Middle Eastern refugees, because there are a number of places that need help for a couple of reasons. First of all, isn't it right to help people in need? We have the ability to do that. And then we have all these cultural ties. We should be proud we have the largest Middle Eastern community in the country here in Michigan. Mm-hmm. The other part is, let's do it and let's get it communicated so people don't perceive it as at their expense or the expense of somebody in Michigan. It can be done in a way where we all win. Let's create an environment where we're bringing good, talented people here that can be contributors to creating more jobs for Michiganders, and I believe that's possible.
We need the help, though, right? I mean, it's easy to say we should help and bring them here, but there has to be almost an infrastructure in place. So are there organizations and whatnot that you think can help kind of assimilate these people
There
here?
are, absolutely, Joanne, and they've been successfully doing this for a number of years, and that's the dialogue we're having. We're talking to all these groups about what is their capacity, how they might be able to take more people in a thoughtful way that can really show the results. And then we need the federal government to make sure that assistance comes here to help support them. Because in many cases, if you look at history, they send them to someplace else in the United States, and after some time period, they just move here anyway because they want to be part of the cultural excitement that we have here.
In the first year, as stated, the Heritage Foundation estimated that the first 10,000 immigrants will cost the U.S. $130 million. Not only will the Obama administration educate the Pakistanis, girls, and assist the Syrian immigrants in settling in Michigan and elsewhere, but Obama called for an initiative to provide millions of dollars to educate Hispanics. Again, this is laudable. But what about the black kids? What he and the First Lady are doing for the black kids is continuing to promote gangster rappers like Jay-Z and recognizing Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce, as a role model to young girls, while the singer's video instruct teenagers how to have sex in limousines. They and others like them are destroying the morals of the black community, depicting black men as thugs and denigrating black females as trash. Where's the pushback on this from our leaders and elected officials? Why is the FCC, Federal Communication Commission, letting this garbage infiltrate our youngster minds over the airways? This is precisely what Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson is advocating against. I hear no other candidate, Democrat or Republican, on the stump calling for a revitalization of the country's morality. Yet the mainstream media is controlled by the same powers that be who are trying to crucify Dr. Carson. Now the Jewish power elite, the Democratic Party, and others do not want Ben Carson rising because he will become a leader to reckon, even if he does not win the nomination. Blacks will begin to listen, and the sleeping giant will awaken and kick the trash to the curb, which will cost the musical moguls billions. But at the same time, it will save the next generation of black youth. The Obama administration gave $12 million to victims of the Jewish Holocaust to help them die with dignity. Now the U.S. had nothing to do with the Holocaust that I know of. Forbes magazine recognized 400 billionaires, and 25% or 100 billionaires are Jews. To these Jews, $12 million is like most of us reaching into our pocket to donate $12 to our local charity. Now, Jews are known for taking care of their own. Check out some of their nursing homes and assisted living facilities for the aged. State of the art. So did they really need the millions from the American taxpayers? No, but the Obama administration, in my opinion, is controlled by the Jews. This was simply a ploy to let the Jewish community know the Obama administration, and the Democrats in particular, support Jews. Now, the Democrats will need the Jewish votes and more money in the very near future. Now, if you didn't know it, the Jews provide 40% of the revenue to the Democratic Party. So in effect, they actually control that party. And nothing is being done to uplift the black community because black votes are taken for granted. If blacks had a unified, prosperous community, they could also control their politicians. But the power that be do not want this to happen. But the question is, do you black people, do you want this to happen? Now, as you can see, black folks, you have got to do more than march, vote, and get educated. We must economically empower our communities so our votes will not be taken for granted and marginalized. As Booker T. Washington stated, at the bottom of education, at the bottom of politics, even at the bottom of religion, there must be for our race economic independence. By Booker T. Washington. No matter what you think about Booker T. Washington, these are words to heed. Thank you, and stay open-minded.
Would you listen to my love, baby? Would you come with an open heart?